Kyrie Jesu Domine, dona eis requiem.
Good morning and happy feast of St. Andrew. Interestingly enough, today's feast day falling on Saturday is the last day in ordinary time. And traditionally, the church used to begin Advent always after the feast of St. Andrew. But now, because of the way things move around, sometimes Advent begins before the feast of St. Andrew on November the 30th. I think the earliest Advent can begin is like the 28th, like 2 days before, depending on when Christmas falls in the week. This year, Christmas falls on a Wednesday, which is ideal in my mind. The two best days for Christmas are Wednesday and Sunday as a minister and as somebody who does a lot of church those 2 weeks. The week between the fourth Sunday of Advent and New Year's Eve is a lot of masses, which is fine. That's a good thing. It can, if you're the only guy at a place, you got all of them, and that can get very tiring. And as I've mentioned before, one of the real challenges of liturgy is to be selfless, not mindless. We don't want the repetition of liturgy, which is what is there, to make us mindless participants. You know, we don't want to be stimulus response Catholics. We want to be selfless in our love and service for God and neighbor, and then even of ourselves. Anyway, that's an aside. So I don't know why the church chose November 30th, but maybe because Andrew's the first called, he is the last celebrated in the liturgical year. So maybe there's some significance there. I don't know. I haven't really researched it. But the whole idea of Advent, of course, when it was really developed in the ancient church, was to mirror Lent. As Lent helped us prepare for Easter, so Advent could help us prepare for Christmas. And it too used to be a time of prayer and fasting and abstinence. I don't know about almsgiving. Almsgiving seems to be more specifically associated with Lent, but I imagine almsgiving was part of the practice of Advent as well in the ancient church. Again, I'd have to look it back up. I used to know this stuff very readily, but I have not studied it recently, and I certainly didn't study it in anticipation for this little podcast. But you can hear Christmas music playing in the background. After Thanksgiving, I start playing Christmas music. I will be donning my Santa hat. You might see that in a few videos, although the Santa hat is very hot inside. It's a very warm hat, probably the warmest of my hats. Well, I've got one kind of Yukon-looking hat, Yukon Jack or something like that. That's what it's called. And that's a pretty warm hat. But other than that, the Santa hats I've had over the years have proved to be pretty warm, and actually good winter caps. So Santa's no dunce for keeping his head and ears warm, and that's what I liked about him. He came down right over the tip of my ears, but didn't cover them completely. Anyway, those are all those are all asides as we wish you a happy and blessed feast of St. Andrew, as we look towards Advent and a new beginning. One of the great things in life is new beginnings, because most of us are happy with what's behind us in the rearview mirror. Our days have not been well spent, our time is not used well. Things we desired we did not achieve, and things we didn't want to do we ended up doing because we are either weak or we're weak and sinful. So the new liturgical year gives us time to think, okay, how do I want to try to make this year different from the next? What do I think Jesus is calling me to this year? Well, he's always calling us to the same thing, deeper communion with him. But what do I think I can do to make that realized? What can I do to make Christ more present in my life? So occasionally you see me look up because I look at the camera, but for the most part I just look at the screen. Look at me talking to you. But right now this is just a Christmas station on Calm Radio. When I'm driving, I listen to the local Christmas station, which has all kinds of stuff. I think this is mainly instrumental Christmas music. So I'd be curious if it YouTube flags it for any copyright stuff. It might. They can identify the song if it's loud enough. I don't know. Not that I'm worried. I'm not out to monetize these things anyway. Anyway, blessed feast of St. Andrew and blessed Advent coming to you this evening.